Welcome to the Old Coins Explorer, the ultimate treasure hunt. Here we are exploring the old coins and their hidden secrets and values. Before you scroll away, let me ask you something super simple. What if I told you that a small bronze coin from 1938 could unlock a portal straight into Britain's past? I'm not joking. This isn't some dusty museum piece. I'm talking about the 1938 British one-penny coin. It might not be made of gold. It might not buy you a fancy dinner, but trust me, this humble little coin carries more history, mystery, and collectible value than you'd ever expect. So sit tight, because today we're digging deep into one of the most iconic pre-World War II coins you've probably never even thought about. Let's rewind for a second. The year is 1938. The world is tense. War is in the air. Hitler's on the rise in Germany. Britain? It's caught between holding on to its empire and preparing for chaos. But while politicians and armies were doing their thing, over at the Royal Mint, a rather ordinary object was being pressed, the 1938 one penny. Ordinary to the eye, maybe, but not to the people who know its story, not to coin lovers like us. Now, picture this, a coin a little over 30 millimeters wide, made of bronze, weighing around 9.4 grams. Nothing flashy, but in the palm of your hand, it's a chunk of British identity. On the front, you got a portrait of King George VI. Yep, the shy, stammering guy from A King's Speech. His face is facing left, styled by Thomas Humphrey Paget, and around it is his bold, official Latin phrase, George of 60, GBR, OMN, Rex F. Laughing Face, IND. Basically, it's saying, here's George VI by the grace of God, King of all Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. Talk about titles. Flip it over, and you meet Britannia, Britain's warrior woman. She's sitting calmly with a trident in one hand and a shield by her side. The sea behind her. Strong, stable, traditional. A symbol that had been on pennies for decades. This reverse design dates way back to the 19th century and stayed with the penny right up until decimalization in 1971. Now here's where it gets interesting. Over 121 million of these coins were minted in 1938. So no, it's not rare in terms of numbers. But rarity isn't everything, especially when we're talking historical context, collectability, and condition. Let me break it down for you. If you find one of these coins in your drawer or pocket change, assuming it's not been kicking around under couch for 50 years, and it's in decent shape, you're looking at maybe £1 or £2 in value. In circulated condition, they're typically worth between 10 pence to £1. Not exactly treasure. But hold on. If you got one in pristine, uncirculated condition, then we're talking £5 to £15, or even more depending on the market. For serious collectors, it's all about that condition. Sharp details, no scratches, no gunk. That's what they want. But it's more than just value. The 1938 penny is a symbol. It's the last penny before Britain entered World War II. That's huge. The next year, 1939, everything changed. Rationing, bombings, national service. The 1938 penny is like the calm before the storm. It represents the final breath of pre-war Britain. And think about this. In 1938, this penny could buy you a loaf of bread, a newspaper, maybe a ride on the tram. People held these coins daily. Tucked into wallets, passed across shop counters, dropped into charity boxes. It's the kind of coin your great-grandparents would have used without a second thought. And now, it's a collectible time capsule. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at an old coin and wondered what it's seen? This little bronze disc might have sat in the pocket of a British soldier on leave. It might have paid for sweets for a child who grew up to become someone's grandparent. Maybe it traveled in a sailor's coat pocket, all the way from Portsmouth to Bombay. Every scratch, every worn-out letter, that's a story. Here's something cool. The design didn't change much, but small differences make certain pennies worth more. For example, extremely rare 1933 pennies are worth thousands. Why? Because they were never officially circulated, just made as ceremonial pieces. In comparison, the 1938 version is common, but it's still a gateway into collecting. It's like your beginner badge in the coin world. And get this, cleaning it? Don't even think about it. New collectors always fall into this trap. They think, let me shine this up, it'll be worth more. Nope, that's a fast way to kill its value. Collectors love original patina, even if it looks a little dirty. It tells them the coin's real, untouched, authentic. So, what do you do if you've got one? First, take a good look at the condition. If the king's face and Britannia's details are still sharp, you're in luck. Check the edges. See how worn the rim is. If it's clean and well-preserved, you might want to keep it safe, maybe in a plastic coin holder or an album. Then comes the choice: sell it, trade it, or start a collection. If you're just getting into coin collecting, this penny is an awesome place to begin. It's affordable, historic, and easy to research. You can build a whole little collection just from the George VI era. Or maybe you start tracking pennies year by year. It's addictive, trust me. Now, let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about money. Coins like this are cultural time machines. They tell us how a country viewed itself. Proud, imperial, unified. Remember that phrase, INDIMP? That's Emperor of India. But just a decade later, India gained independence, and that phrase vanished from coins. These little changes, they reflect huge global shifts. And if you're into history, like really into history, coins are a physical piece of it, not just photos in a book or old letters in a museum. You can hold it, feel the weight. Think about the millions who did the same, without realizing they were living through something big. Let me take you back again to a London street in 1938. Cobblestones, street vendors, men in bowler hats. A kid with a paperboy cap runs by shouting the headlines. Germany marches into Austria. A woman drops a penny into his hand. That penny could be the one you're holding today. That's the power of a coin. So yeah, maybe it's just a penny. But if you're here thinking, it's not valuable, it's not gold, I've got news for you, it is valuable. Not because of what it can buy, but because of what it represents. It's a piece of identity, a sliver of British resilience, a symbol of a time when everything was about to change. And whether you're a hardcore collector, a history nerd, or just someone curious about old stuff, the 1938 British penny is totally worth your time.